Good morning. I've come down to the forest this morning. It's a very wet and windy start to the day, and I haven't really got a plan, which isn't like me. So it's a case of heading off into the woods and just seeing what I can find. Well, nothing so far, which isn't totally surprising because it is only about 10 minutes after sunrise and I'm in the middle of a forest on a dull, wet, windy morning at the end of winter, and also in a very wooded area which is difficult to make any sense of compositionally. But I'm going to head along, keep trying, keep looking for opportunities, and I'm sure as the light improves something will catch my eye. You know, I'm getting absolutely nowhere here. I've spent probably an hour now walking around. I've searched high and low, just trees. It might look bright on the camera, but it's very, very dull and I'm shooting film. But anyway, I don't want this to be the fail in the forest, so I'm actually going to take a shot of the setup behind me with the trees. I feel I need to actually get a shot in the bag, and it might just enthuse me and get me to see more compositions. Well, I've got started. I've taken the first shots. I've used two films, Kodak Ektar, colour negative, and Fuji Provia, which is a slide film. I don't think it's a great composition personally, but then again the eyes can be fooled. The sensor and the film obviously pick up a lot more if you give them long enough. That was a 2-second exposure there, so let's just see what comes of it, and at least I'm off the starting blocks. Well, I quite like this little setting. I think I'll have to crop in quite a bit, but those little trees sprouting through in this dark, murky water in the middle of the forest, I think they'll make a nice composition with a longer lens. Never ceases to amaze me how much the forest changes every time I come. They're doing a lot of work on drainage, returning parts of the forest to the sort of boggy wetland it used to be years ago. I'm all for it. This little bit of extra water makes compositions easier. Very difficult to get good compositions in dense forest alone. Spotted these trees behind me. I'm loving the colours and the shapes. It should be quite easy to arrange into a decent pattern here. Avoid the overlaps. It looks lovely in a square format. Now I'm set up. I've gone for a short telephoto lens. Now this is going to create huge problems of depth of field because I'm shooting medium format, and if you think you have limited depth of field with full frame cameras, think again. This thing's far worse. Barring large format, this is going to be about the trickiest composition I have today. I can't get it all in focus really, so I'm going to settle for f32, focus on the second tree and hope everything's in focus, or as much as it can be. Anything that isn't, fine, it'll just blur out to the background. Something I always advocate when I'm out shooting, nice drink, whatever you like. I like coffee, keep it in a little flask, just have a little sip of this, little snacky bar, fantastic, keeps you going. I'm really struggling now. I have some rain falling, which is going to make it very difficult to shoot with the Bronica because it isn't waterproof at all. And also the clouds have really come back over, so I may call it quits. And it's been a tricky morning and I've only taken a few frames, but having said that, I wouldn't have actually come out this morning if it wasn't for the fact I wanted to make this vlog. It's just to prove that not every trip's spectacular. You don't always get images like this or this when you come out into your local locations, but you learn something, you get your eye in, you keep your trigger finger going. It's all experience, and you never know, some of these images may actually turn out quite well. So thanks for coming along, and I'll see you again on the next trip.